Hey, XD! Christina's in! Cesaro's back! Excuse me. And I choked to death. Gigamax in. Mr. Zadakai is back in with us. Preparum? George is here. Andrew, Michael Tanek. Sai Al Amri? Peter's in. Blazer, Joshua. Limp Limp you boy. Bam Stam. Hey Joe, good to see you again, pal. Evil Dan. Geekirian. Tim Confer. Maximiliano. I like that name. Mace WB. Sloth. Wolverine. Cesaro just wanted to fap. Understandable. I think we'll do this regularly. You guys know how much I love Free for All Friday live streams. I think at least once a week. Maybe we'll try and set it up on Tuesdays. Today's Tuesday, right? We'll just have a general anime chat because considering the amount of my time that is spent thinking about anime, particularly with the series we're watching on the Goose right now, and how amped up they've got me. I can't wait to see this final episode of Ass Class. Just some more, some old daddy ready to spank bitches, Joe says. High School DxD. Yeah, I gotta find a place for season 4 of that, Peter, at the Goose, because they finally got it out. Because I don't watch it until we started watching that in the dub, so I only watched it in the dub and of course uncensored. So I had to wait for them to get that out, and it's available now. I just got to find a spot for it on the at the Goose. Forgotten like, hey, sexy old dude. All right, now that works. You win the comments so far. Love the old man dramatic reading today. Oh, thanks. I'm curious. I'm trying to see if we can't convince more people to, just because I like doing those sketch comedy vids, convince more people to check them out and just see if they like them. They don't get a ton of views, but I think a lot of it is. I honestly think there's a decent number of people that think that it's legitimately dramatic readings, and they're like, yeah, I don't really want to hear somebody read the lyrics to Bad Guy. Yeah, we are getting close to Demon Slayer Chrome. I'm looking forward to that too. Korean cartoons. Dab and Dab says, I've been watching anime since I was 13 and I'm 27 now. How long has it been for you guys? 3 years? Did we start DBZA? Had to be around 3 years ago, right? We started Dragon Ball Z Abridged? I think. Well, thanks, Krusty Bomb. Vamp Stamp Saw, good. I'm glad you guys like those. Like I say, that's comedy is my roots, and I like doing sketch comedy. So I like getting feedback on that. And again, it's just going to take a while for people to understand that it's actually a comedic. But I don't want to title them, giving it away that it's comedic. I like the tongue-in-cheek, the sarcastic tone of making it seem like it's a real dramatic reading, and might make it a little harder to get initial interest, but. My favorite anime, Eric, again, I have more tiers than I have individual favorites. I mean, I love Hunter x Hunter. I love One Piece, especially after just having come through the Water 7 Enies Lobby arc in One Piece. Holy crap. About 3 years, Forgotten Light. That's what I thought it was. 3 or 4 years, more or less. Yeah, I think we are. The Patreon, yeah, I think you're right, Em. And the Patreon is a couple. When did we really start accelerating the Patreon, where I actually started putting a lot of content up here? It was, because initially it was just for people that wanted to just throw a little extra support. And then at first it was, the Patreon, when I dubbed it the Goosh, it was just going to have some extra content there, extra anime reaction content. And then, of course, it worked out fortuitously that we already had that in place when the Japanese companies just started raping us and we couldn't do anime reactions anymore at the YouTube channel. So we had a place already on hand, where we could put it all. This Dandy, the Assassination Classroom episode I watched today, second to the last one. It'll go up tomorrow, but I watched it today. That, oh man, I knew it. I knew they were gonna just kick the living shit out of our fields at some point, and that freaking did it. God damn. Can't go wrong with redhead anime girls. Rias Gremory and Urza Scarlet. Yeah. Yeah, Peter Rias. Although Akano is my ultimate waifu in High School DxD, but it's only by this much over Rias. And Urza, I haven't seen what Urza's from Fairy Tail, right? Yeah. I haven't seen that anime yet, but you don't have to have seen it to be aware of who Urza Scarlet is. As a matter of fact, she's over in the pop collection somewhere. Tom, feminist. He used rape as a joke. Kill him. Just watch Hunter x Hunter episode 135. Oh my god. Oh, Kenji, that's series is so fucking good. Jeez, but that, yeah. As I said in that video I posted to the channel the other day, the Meruem and Komugi thing is just, it's next level. I don't know how there's been other things that have affected me probably equally as far as, hitting your feels, but from a different angle. I mean, it's impossible, I think, to replicate all the intricacies of that Meruem and Komugi relationship, because it comes from such an odd place but ends up being so well done. And that whole, oh man, that whole Komugi, are you still here? God damn, that's rough at the end. I have no plans on reacting to more YouTube poops. There's no telling what might come up. No plans on it right now. I know that someone sponsored Blazer says a Gush 100 video for reading Hunter x Hunter, but have you read any more past that or any manga in general? No, and again, just because of time, I'm dying to actually get further along in the Hunter x Hunter manga. I picked it up where the anime left off, but I just don't have time to do it. And I hate starting to read it starting to read something like that with it hanging over my head that, oh man, I got this to do, I got that to do. And you don't really get the enjoyment out of it when I know I'm supposed to be getting other things done. Yeah, Forgotten Light. That was just, man, it's just so well done. Holy crap. And who would have imagined when you first learned of the king, Meruem, who would imagine that would be the eventuality? That's how you would end up feeling about Meruem. The king of the Chimera Ants, who obviously looks to be the ultimate villain in everything, and in a lot of ways was. But and then Netero taking him out with a nuke. What the fuck? That was just good storytelling. Dennis Reynolds, Curtis, if there was a movie about your life, who would play you? Well, obviously Dwayne The Rock Johnson. or Danny DeVito, or anyone in between. Probably Thanos. Fairy Tail has that effect on your emotions, for me anyways. I gotta believe Forgotten Light, we're gonna get to Fairy Tail at some point, I would think, at the Goosh. It gets mentioned. I gotta admit, it's not, surprisingly, with as much support as it gets, it doesn't get as big a push as do others in the nominations, but it just seems like it's something. Danny the Rock DeVito, Dandy says. It just seems like at some point, just because of its popularity, it's got to make it at somewhere along the line, I would think. Johnny Case is Terry Crews in whiteface. Yeah, that's right, Dennis. I mean, now the thing is, when we talk about, my doppelganger Thanos, it needs to be mentioned that he looks like me, not vice versa, because I'm older. I'm older in pretty much everything, so. One Piece was really good today, too. One Piece was amazing. Watching that battle? Oh man. And not only the battle itself, but what that battle might be leading up to. That was, oh goddamn. A little, yeah, Josh Brolin, yeah. Yeah, I look more like Josh Brolin when he's got his makeup on, though, than I do when he's just legit. Excuse me. Chrome says, Fairy Tail is very One Piece like in ways, honestly. I actually prefer several Fairy Tail arcs over One Piece. The hate it gets as stupid anime fans are. Really? Yeah, well, that's probably the downside to it, just what you're alluding to there, Chrome. Why it hasn't done better in the nominations is just because even though it gets so much support, like, again, Chrome was alluding to, there's also an awful lot of haters on Fairy Tail for some reason. Jeffrey, I don't know how to answer that. How do I watch my anime? I, I mean, I got like a million and one smartass responses I could come up with, but I don't know what you mean by how do I watch them. Um, uh, Dragon said, Firewall Dragon says, here's a fun fact that unfortunately can't be said for most anime. The English dub of Hunter x Hunter is just as good. It matches the sub perfectly. Does it? I've watched little bits and pieces of the dub, and this is strictly a bias. Because I had watched it in sub, I was so used to those voices, I just couldn't click with, not that I needed to, it was just for shits and giggles I looked for it anyway. I just couldn't click with the dub voices. But again, not because they were bad, just because I had the other voices so ingrained in my mind. So with his eyeballs. Yeah, oh, what source to use? Whatever the official release point is, or one of the official release points. The ones we're watching now, most of them I get through Verve. Let's see, Assassination Classroom I'm watching on Funimation, and it all depends. And I know it's not anime, but when we watch, oh God, what the hell's the name of the series? I'm blanking. Which happens all the time. Hold on, I'll look it up for you. Castlevania. When we watch that, it's on Netflix. It all depends on where they're released. Everyone is different. Some of them I've had to. The only place I could find them was on Amazon Video. It all depends on where they put it out. Loving the Coup says, thoughts on Boruto. Did you see Video Game House 3? Did we see 3, guys? I can't remember where we are on that with RDC World. If not, we'll be watching it soon. I don't remember. I can't remember what one we're up to. I don't have a lot of thoughts on Boruto Loving the Coup because I haven't seen any of it. I know who Boruto is, and I know the legend of episode 65 of Boruto, but I don't really have a lot to offer because I haven't seen it. Gurren Lagann is on Netflix. Now, why would I go react to episode 7, 8 when I've got the whole series already reacted to? Boruto is ass saw says. I think it was 2. Was it? If not, I'll be back at their channel looking through what they've released. It'll be coming up because I love everything those kids do. I think they're fucking hilarious. Well, if you don't have thoughts on Boruto, what about Burrito? All my thoughts on Burrito are positive. All my initial thoughts on Burrito are positive. My thoughts afterwards, while sitting on the toilet, not as positive. So it all depends. It's a mixed bag there with Burrito. First was Attack on Titan. Then came Funimation Attack on Succubus Hookers. Bimby. Let's see. Kame got killed. Japanese cartoons, anime fans trigger when they call anime a cartoon. Yeah, that's why I do it, Igor. That's why I put that in the titles. 69 viewers. We're up to 72 now, but 62 is the legendary number. Boruto, anyone getting that DLC for Naruto Storm 4 coming out this month? Oh, okay. Obviously the game. Let's see. Hajime no Ippo. No, that one, David. That one is one I'm sure will get voted in at the Goosh at some point because the last time it came really, really close. Wasn't it the? Let's see. The last time that we had a vote, they put 2 through. It was Attack on Titan and Bleach, and Hajime no Ippo was either the one next or 2 down from there. So it's obviously going to make it at some point. Let's see. Boruto manga is fire. Anime is slowly starting to get better with the Blood Prison arc. I know everybody was, Igor, and again, this is just getting feedback from people. It's not a personal opinion because I haven't seen it. but I know everybody was not thrilled, at least with the early episodes. A lot of it, and then there were some people. There were also a lot of people who really enjoyed it. I guess a lot of people just didn't like Boruto himself, didn't like the way the character presented himself or something. I'm trying to remember exactly what everybody was saying. Hajime no Ippo needs a new anime season. The manga is already finished. Oh, really, Itsunagi? Yeah, again, I've seen a lot of clips of Hajime no Ippo back when we could do the regular reaction video streams. And being a huge boxing fan as I am, it's not a hard sell for me. Prison School was fantastic, Enemy. That was a blast. I was what was it? What was the big titty girl? She was the vice president or something of the club. She was a strict disciplinarian. Yeah, that's all. That one's up on the Goosh as well. I've seen it. Thanks, Sloth. I appreciate that. How many anime have you seen? I haven't seen Tokyo Ghoul yet. I don't know the number. If you look at any of our vids at the YouTube channel here, when I have that pinned post with the list of what's up at the Goosh, that's pretty much what I've seen. Plus, I think things that I think everything on there. Well, Naruto I don't list in there. But that's pretty much the list. Have you watched Super Dragon Ball Heroes? No, I haven't seen that, Maximiliano. Akatsuki is and will be the best bad guy group. Bad guys group that is for me just amazing. It's either the Akatsuki or for me it's either the Akatsuki or the spiders from Hunter x Hunter. Either one. That's a toss up. I love both of them. Dragon says, "Are you ever going to react to more Swag Kage?" Again, questions like that. I don't know what to tell you. Probably, because I really like Swag. I like Swag a lot. But with what I react to, it depends. Day to day, what I'm looking for when I start that day's recordings. And of course, I love Devil Artemis. I'm always gonna be watching his. I'll always be watching RDC World 1 and Brandon. And trying to keep, because that seems to be pretty much one of the, if not the most popular thing we do at the YouTube channel anymore, are the updates for what's going on at the Goosh. So between all that, I'll probably get to more Swag Kage. Again, I think Swag's awesome. I love his videos. Chrome says, I keep hearing people say Boruto is getting better. Every arc they say this, it never happens. LOL. Also, the manga girls look a little creepily young, even for manga standards. Really? See, I just don't, Weeaboos Assemble, BG says. I don't really, it's not that I've got anything against watching Boruto. What basically happened was I was very, very comfortable with the way Shippuden ended. I really liked the storytelling. Hell, I love the story of Naruto. I love Naruto, love Shippuden. So I didn't feel like, oh man, there's more that I need to see on there. So given that, there were so many other anime that I was chomping at the bit to get to see, it just pushes Boruto, way to the back burner, because there are so many other things that I'd wanted to see and that we are currently watching. So that's basically why Boruto ended up where it did for me. So have you watched any interesting hentai? I've seen some hentai. I mean, nothing that really stood out to me any more than any of the other hentai. We ever convince your wife to watch anime? She won't do reaction. She doesn't like being on camera, Kenji. She's done a couple things here or there for us, just because she knows how important this community is to me and everything. But she doesn't like being on camera. And as far as get her to watch anime, probably she won't watch anything subbed. She doesn't like subtitles. Again, I got her to watch a couple episodes of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and she did watch one of the movies with me, but regularly get her to watch it, probably won't be able to. Wolverine says, I'll Goosh Brax in exchange for your bank account. Well, why would I do that if I don't really want Brax to get gooshed? Hold on a second here. What we got? Mr. Zedekai says, hey Curtis, did you hear that the creators of ATLA made a new show? It's called The Dragon Prince, and it's by Netflix. I don't think so, Mr. Zedekai. Is that, wait a second, unless it's something, I don't think that's what I'm thinking of. Hold on. The Dragon Prince. Ooh, shit. Unless it's the one I'm thinking of. Let me just look it up quick to see. Before I comment, I want to make sure I'm talking about the right thing. Oh, no. No, that's not what I thought. No, I hadn't heard of this. Nope. Have you watched some of it? Is there any... God damn it. I can't call the right page up. Have you watched some of it? Is it any good? Because I just looked it up, and no, didn't even see that. See that it was out. Firewall Dragon says, watching Boruto is kind of like getting hammered. It seems fun at the time, but you usually regret it later. Ouch. Oh, that's a rough analogy. Krusty Bomb says, for your information, Boruto, the anime, gets kind of good around the 50s to 70s, and it gets crap again. I had heard that sentiment before, too, Krusty Bomb, specifically, and I think I got the right number. Was it episode 65? I think is the one where everybody talks about how good a fight was in there or something, or how good that episode was. Yeah, I've heard a similar refrain before. You know, that it's got that decent stretch, but a lot of people didn't like the before or the after. Norris said same thing. 50 to 70 was great. Yeah, I've heard that from a number of people. Igor says, problem is people say Boruto is milking the series. Are only anime only viewers. If they read the manga, they know that the story is great and interesting instead of boring. Well, see, and that's, for me, that's tough too, because there's just, and I enjoy reading, I never get to anymore. So there's no chance for me to get the time to read the mangas. If there was, I'd be caught up on Hunter x Hunter, because I've got it. I've got the manga. I've got it downloaded onto the computer and everything. I just can't find time to watch it. Brother, did you see episode 3025 One Piece yet? Thoughts on what happened? Well, I don't generally give thoughts on reaction videos outside of the reaction videos, because that's what the reaction video is for. When it posts tomorrow, everybody will hear all my thoughts rather than share them individually and away from the video itself. Yeah, I just watched it today. Chris, just remember that I got to get her up here to do it, Chrome. I just got to get her up here. She said she will. She got pushed into it. That's my fault. I got to get her up here to do that. That'll be epic. Superior Spider Boy, who's your favorite Killua or Luffy? I don't really. Again, it's stuff like that. As far as favorites in a versus sense, it's not a big thing to me. I just enjoy. Luffy is my favorite character in One Piece. Killua is my favorite character in Hunter x Hunter. To me, it's like there's no real point or way to determine which one I like more. Pizza Man says, have you heard of Meat Cannon? Have you heard of Meat Canyon? He's a newer YouTuber that creates cartoon parodies. He's very big in dark humor. No, I don't think so, Pizza Man. Again, that's another thing I gotta look up real quick, because the names kind of sounded familiar, but I wonder if it's just because somebody mentioned them to me before. No, I don't. These I see he's got one called Webbit Season. No, I haven't actually seen his stuff. Ace of Spades, My Best Friend Naruto. Oh, these do look like they'd be fun. I'd have to, before we could do reactions to it, though, obviously, I'd have to do my best to try and find out if he's cool with reaction videos or not. But no, I hadn't heard of him until I just looked it up there. That looks like, just judging by titles and in the thumbnails, the look of the animation, yeah, that does look like something I would really enjoy. Excuse me, Colton. Quack. Oh no, that's Krillin. I have a Majestic Space Duck shirt somewhere. Chrome. No, you're not big into picking one favorites over the other, but what English do you prefer? JoJo's Hoary Shit and stuff, or One Piece, Monkey D. Ruby? Again, I don't see. It's not that I won't do it. I don't know how you determine that. I mean, when you just really thoroughly enjoy something, as I do both of those, holy shit. I don't know how you make a designation as to which one do you like better. I love both of them. Arthur says, as powerful as Goku or harem of 5 favorite. Wait a second. I'm lost, Arthur. I'm not sure. As powerful as Goku. Oh, okay, I got what you're saying. Ooh. Fuck. As powerful as Goku or harem of 5 favorite girls, which immediately, now you're talking You're gonna have Sarah's Victoria in there, and you're gonna have my girl Akano in there. Maybe Midnight. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go with as powerful as Goku because I think with that type of power, you could get the girls. I'm gonna go that way. Plus, it'd be fun to just knock the shit out of some bitches. So yeah, I gotta go with as powerful as Goku. Firewall Dragon says the last time I got hammered, I projectile vomited all over the living room. Ooh, the last time I watched Boruto, I wanted to do the same. Oh, that's rough. That's a very mean. That's pretty funny though. Thoughts on One Piece Netflix live action series? Kenji says, conceptually, it's interesting to me. Whether or not it'll be good, who knows? But as far as a concept, I think it's cool. Anytime they give a shot to something like that to do that works in relation to an anime I love, sure, I think it'd be fun to check out. But how it will unfold, who knows? Mr. Zadakai says the Dragon Prince is pretty good. They're 3 seasons in. I get the same feeling that I got watching ATLA when I'm watching it. Really? Yeah, I hadn't even heard of that one. And they're 3 seasons in. You know what? I wonder if... No, that's not the one I'm thinking of either. No, I hadn't seen it, which surprises me too because well, no, I shouldn't say it surprises me. What's more likely the case is I probably have seen ads for it and forgotten because I forget everything. Because I just got thinking, when you click into Netflix, it's always giving you, it's always suggesting things for you. And with my history of watching, they had to have suggested that, I would think. So I probably just forgot about it. Thoughts on KSI versus Logan? Yeah. I mean, I don't like either of the Pauls, so obviously I root for KSI, but I don't know. That never really... Second class boxing really doesn't capture my attention that much. Let's see. Brother, he says, yes, Curtis, you have to watch Meat Canyon. I've been watching Free to Watch for weeks. He's really hysterical and destroys all of our childhoods. Again, I haven't even begun to try and research whether or not they seem cool with reaction videos, so I have no idea. Glad KSI won both times. Yeah, loving the coup. Again, it's an easy one for who I'm going to root for. You can match one of the Paul brothers up against pretty much anybody. Logan versus Hitler. I'm rooting for Hitler. It's so I can't stand either one of the Paul brothers. Okay, BG, thanks for being in while you could, pal. Let's see. Igor says Obito equals 10 years to catch the Bijous. Madara 10 minutes to catch the Bijous. Sasuke 10 seconds to catch the Bijous. Bitch just clapped his hands. Oh, got something in my eye. Why people hate Jake so much? Me as well. Yeah, I don't care for their demeanors, their attitudes, the way they go about things. They're just not my... Logan versus Afro Mike. Man, it would suck, but I'd have to root for Afro Mike in that one because you're a dick, Afro Mike. But yeah, I would have to grudgingly do it. Afro Mike would beat the shit out of the Logans. Here's hoping, Big Green. Can the Paul brothers and a lot of these drama cunts fuck off already? Chrome says they make me disgusted to be of the same species. That's well put. I like that. That's broken down well. Yeah, Jake does seem to be the worst of the two, so I'll agree with you on that. I don't like either one of them, but yeah, Jake is definitely the worst of the two. Igor says, Curtis, how about this? Kabuto versus Paul brothers. Kabuto. Easy. Not even close. Kick their ass, Kabuto. Logan or Black Zetsu. Again, listen, even somebody I hate in anime such as Black Zetsu is still better than somebody I can't stand in real life, so I'm going Black Zetsu. You should grow an afro. A ginger afro. Well, actually, I don't know. See, I don't even know what color my hair would be if I let it grow in. Of course, my facial hair used to be red, but that's all grayed. When I've gone extra days without shaving, you can start to see the shade as it grows in. Doesn't seem to be a ton of gray in the hair, not as much as there is on my facial hair. So I'm not sure how much it's dark, because when I was a kid, my hair was orange. When I started shaving it, it was still red, but it wasn't that bright red anymore. Logan versus Onision. That's one dragon where you just root for both of them to lose. The old double knockout, and the knockout be violent enough that neither one of them makes videos anymore. And he plans to watch Gintama soon. Well, Arthur, like I say, you guys, as you guys know, it depends on what gets voted in. The $1 level at the Goosh, I put in the series, but that we've got that locked up coming up. Because Ass Class is almost done, and then it's Demon Slayer and Trigun, and I don't know. I think I might even have the next one after that lined up as well. But Gintama, again, Gintama's another one of those that when we have the nominations, it gets a lot of support. So you never know when it'll get voted in. Brother E says, thoughts on the Iowa caucus turning into a shit show? That's just it. It's a shit show. Do you think a caucus is a realistic thing for modern society? No, I think it's stupid. I think that whole that concept of the caucus style for pledging delegates is asinine. I think it's dumb. Okay, Logan versus Shao Tucker. Oh, it's Shao Tucker, because then Scar's gonna come along and kill him anyway. So he'll meet his end. Scar ain't gonna let him go on. Let's see. Kabuto at least had a redemption arc. He's a nun now. Yeah. Well, that's what I've heard, Chrome. That's what I've heard. See, well, even at the end of Shippuden, he would certainly, that's why he didn't end up being my most hated character. He had certainly turned a corner as far as his demeanor and his personality, and that's what I've heard now, that he's really next level nice guy as Boruto has moved on. Okay, Kenji, thanks for being on while you could. Gonna go watch Hunter x Hunter with your brother. Could not think of a better way to spend time. I would love to have the time to just go rewatch all of Hunter x Hunter. I wish I had the time to just binge it. God damn, that was so good. Igor says, Curtis, I suggest you watch Aho Girl. It's a 12-episode series where the main character gets justice for all male MCs that get punched by girls. He's Sakura, and the main female lead is Naruto. He beats her. Yeah, the thing with that is, again, my days stay tight enough time-wise that I don't have any time to get involved in any other series, unfortunately. Gimster says it just snowed another foot last night. In total, it's now about 12 feet. God damn. The Dunsheads from Alberta are miserable, and I'm sitting here chuckling. God damn, Gimster. Woo! See, we used to get I'm in upstate New York, for any that don't know. We used to get a lot more snow than we do now, but we never used to get it to those amounts like what you guys get up there. But it's funny how, and outside of whatever anybody believes in climate change or anything, they've said for years they knew it was coming, that the way I don't understand all the science of it, but the way the flow of air works basically across the country, that we would go into a segment where the southern part of the state gets it worse than they used to, and we get less. But even back in the day when we used to get pounded, we didn't get it like you guys get it up there. Holy shit. Arthur says, when the question about the Iowa caucus shit show came up, I got a Ben Shapiro notification titled Iowa shit show. Because that's Arthur. That's the perfect description of what went on. How can that be that difficult? Like people, online have said, the caucus amounts to getting a bunch of people in their own little corners and counting them. It's pretty fucking easy. Then report those counts to the state. I can't for the life of me understand how this got this fucked up. And then they say, well, it was the app they were using. Well, you have a failsafe. It's called a telephone. You still just have to count those people, and then you call it into the state, and they relay the results. It hurt the Democrats quite a bit, because if for no other reason, it's got them all fighting with each other. Now there's the conspiracy theories that Buttigieg was behind the whole thing, and he put money into this company that made the app or did something to help with the count, and he's doing it to take down Bernie, and so now they're all fighting amongst themselves. The Democrats come out looking like tool bags that can't even run a caucus. It's not good. Seven Deadly Sins, no, JCZ, and I do want to see Seven Deadly Sins at some point. Heard a lot of good things about it, but Braxton and I, of course, have very similar tastes, and he loves Seven Deadly Sins. So ever since he had been watching it and was talking about how good it was, I would really like to see that. Booty Judge, Andrew says. Yeah, they're all hammering him. Well, all the other Democrats are, now they're after Booty Judge. And it's predictable because just from what you're able to see from, people on the ground reporting from those caucuses, it looked like he was doing pretty well. So that'll put him right in the crosshairs. Seven Deadly Sins will probably show up eventually. I think it's nearly finished. I think it will, Chrome. It's another one of those series that, when we talk about it, we only hear good things. I had a friend who told me something that's very true. Igor says, "What's the worst kind of cockblock? The one where you cockblock yourself instead of someone else doing it." I've done that. Yeah, I've done that by doing stupid shit. Yeah, I've cockblocked myself. Sadly. Chardonnay says, Curtis delivers a devastating blow to the back of Logan Paul. I don't think he's getting up after that impact. See, now in the day, and not that I wouldn't fight, I'd still jump in the ring. In a boxing match, I would lose to them. They're just too young and too fast, and I've lost too much speed. I'm almost 60. I've lost too much speed. In a street fight, I'd still have a shot against them. I have a real good shot against them in a street fight. Susan versus Afro Mike in a fight to the double death. 2 birds, 1 stone. Yeah, there you go, Madara. Yeah, somebody's getting their ass beat, and so it's good no matter what. He could probably goosh Logan Paul, Lick says. Oh, he'd be the kind of guy, Chrome, Logan Paul, it'd just be fun to bitch slap. It really would. Glenn Akers says, "Oh yeah, Pete Buttigieg, whoever his last name is, poured $21K into the company that made the app that was counting the delegates or votes, whatever it was, not biased at all." Well, the thing is, though, Glenn, and yeah, there's proof that he put money in that company, but it's still making a leap to say that there's a bias there. Whether there is or not, it's making a leap because just because somebody invested in something doesn't automatically mean that that company that took the investment has nefarious intentions. Just means he invested in it. He's such a scrawny little bitch, Lick says. Tom says, listening, watching the live streams keep me motivated while I'm coding for college projects. Oh, that's cool. That's what Brax is. That's his nemesis, the coding classes. Although he's been doing pretty good in them. He says that's his toughest class, though, is this coding class. Excuse me. I know. Well, that Chrome makes a good point. Whose idea was it to name the company that made the app the Shadow Company as well? That's why. Yeah, that's. There's just no situation unless you want to create a company that is subversive and potentially evil to name your company Shadow. Yeah, I agree. Susan versus the train. Then I could finally root for the train, Willie. Finally. What's your favorite anime opening? Mine is Tokyo Ghoul Season 1. Again, favorites aren't necessarily... if I enjoy something, I enjoy it. But to compare it to others that I enjoy as well, once in a while there's something that just stands out so far and head or shoulders above anything else I'd seen or experienced. And in those cases, I'll mention it. But as far as just making comparisons, it's not a big thing for me. Let's see. Just grease yourself up, Chrome says, and go shirtless. He should be terrified. Then you could do a Suicide Forest style vid with the remains. Karma. Clannad is a good show. Should be out of the polls. We watched an episode of Clannad. Clannad at the Gush. It got sponsored and by G100, by Gush 100, and yes, it was quite good. Just that first episode. And I like those types of stories. I know what type of story Clannad is, so yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that get through it all. Gimster says, a guy at work was complaining about being sick. He said his stomach had been bothering him, and at every break he's been best friends with the toilet. Oh, that sucks. He said his ass has been being punished for about a week. Goddamn, about a week. He might want to get his ass to the doctor. When he get it that, it could still be just a bug or something. But damn, when when you're having intimate relations for the toilet for over a week, it's time to get that shit looked at. Firewall Dragon, Susan versus Onision. Now that sucks because then I got to go back to rooting for Susan. Do you go back to watch the anime openings like One Piece when the arcs are over? Usually, Chrome. Sometimes I forget, but for the most part I do, yeah. Andrew Wilson, coronavirus. Yeah, didn't, where was it? Excuse me, guys. Something that's driving me nuts. I had read that there is a potential cure. Was it Thailand? I think it was Thailand. Over in Thailand that they'd come up with. They had a cocktail of some sort. Oh, gosh. Of different medications that seem to be working on it. And I just heard earlier today, too, that the first person in the States that came down with the coronavirus or that had the coronavirus has just been released from the hospital. So it seems like I'm thinking a lot of the issue in China is just the overcrowding, that people can't get the care they need. You know, it's tragic that it's taken out so many people, but if it weren't for being overwhelmed, I'm thinking the death toll wouldn't be as high. But that seems to be the case, is people can't get the care that they need to defeat the virus because they're just so overwhelmed. Let's see. Spider-Boy is going to get a tattoo in May for my birthday. I want it to be anime related. What should I get? Well, I don't know. I wouldn't want to say. It depends on, who are your anime connections? Who do you have the strongest connection to as far as a series, character? Yeah, exactly. Andrew says, yeah, too many people, too few hospitals. Now, that's not to say that it isn't a serious issue or a serious virus. I'm just saying I feel confident that the death toll wouldn't be as high if it weren't for the fact that there's just too many people coming down with the virus and they can't get the care they need. Let's see. Peter version 1. Good name. Hey, Spaz, not sure if you saw it this Sunday. A new anime called Darwin's Game. Missed that, too. Nope. It is still English subbed. And who will win, Goku, Naruto, or Monkey D? Darwin's Game. I hadn't heard of that at all, Peter. I wonder where did that come out? I'm not big on, because I'm not good at it, at comparisons or power scaling, just because I've seen anime, but I haven't even read the manga. And a lot of times to make a good comparison, a power scaling comparison, you have to have read the manga. But in this case, it's kind of easy. It's Goku. You're just talking a whole different playing field there. When you live in a world where universe destroyers exist and planet destroyers are a dime a dozen, for Naruto or Monkey D. Luffy, that's just a whole different ball game there. Although what I saw today, that whole black hole thing that Teach has got going, the darkness, that's a pretty badass devil fruit ability right there. Tips for removing black mold. Oh shit, Arthur. Excuse me, guys. Where do you have black mold? That can be some serious shit. I wish I had some tips to give you. I don't know anything about getting rid of it, but man, that one can really create some serious issues. Yep, Bleach is coming up, Peter, in the excuse me. Is coming up in the probably Bleach. Oh, okay. Hold on, I'm losing track of the conversations here. I have to go back sometimes and see. So we're talking about what should I get for the what he should get for the tattoo. Oh, Chrome said too, I missed this. Well, in China, the official numbers are over 20,000 now, and it's probably higher. The issue is it can be asymptomatic and can kill in 36 hours and can spread for 3 days after being cured. Yeah, well, that's what I mean, Chrome, and I think it's a numbers game now in China. The numbers are just too overwhelming. That's why I had little doubt here in America, or the isolated cases we're getting, that medical professionals will probably be able to handle it. But when you get overwhelmed and people aren't getting the care that they actually need. Oh, Bleach for the mole. I thought we were talking. Okay. Oh, bleach works on black mold. That would make sense. There you go, bleach. I thought- Only us as a group could we come up with something during anime chat where we could come up with something totally unrelated where the word bleach would be the proper response. Fuck off, chain indeed, Saw. Glenn says burn the entire house down. I know black mold is serious shit. Well, I'm with you there, Cesar always says, but man, how can you eat those bats and that other gross stuff? I if you're eating bats, I mean, there's just no way that you can do something like eat bats and then be surprised that there might be health risks associated with that activity. It's crazy. Arthur said too, oh, I thought they were talking about the anime. Me too. That's why I say, oh, I'm lost. I don't see what we were talking about. And then I was thinking, okay, maybe they meant get bleached for the tattoo. Duh. Carl. That'll always be one of my favorites, Glenn. I love that series. Llamas with Hats is just, I've gone back and watched the 1 through 12 so many times. I just love it. Chrome says Chinese will eat anything, even live animals. Eating live squids is a thing in still in Asian cultures. That's what I've heard, Chrome. And again, you don't need to be a scientist. You don't need to be a doctor to figure out that something that is potentially scummy as a bat is not a good idea to ingest. Excuse me. Coral. Bleach can kill most things, even anime fans, Curtis. Remember this. It's useful for Naruto, Chrome says. I just sent pics of my place. Go see now, you catch. I don't know where you sent them, Gimster. I don't know where you sent them. Where sent pictures of them? Where? Haven't watched in a while. How's it been going? Going good, Spencer. Good to see you again, my friend. Twitter maybe. Come on, open up Chrome. Not you, Chrome. Google Chrome. I was trying to open. Let's see. Nope, not on Twitter. On Twitter though, there's a guy with putting a buffalo in his car. That's kind of neat. Fun fact: squirrel meat tastes really good. Do you like it, Dragon? I've eaten. Oh, on Patreon. Oh, okay, Gimster. Okay, I'll go check that. I've had squirrel meat, cooked. We didn't do raw. I didn't like it. It was too gamey for me. Squirrel meat. All right, hold on a second. Let me look at that picture real quick, guys. I'll be right back. I'm away from the chat for a second here. Come on. Open up, open up. All right, so where are we here? I'm assuming on the community tab. Oh yeah, that's a good little bit of snow. Jesus Christ. Yeah, see we haven't seen things like that. Wow, in a lot of years here. And even then, when we would get, holy crap. Wow. And even then, when we would get snows of that level, it was usually in the hardcore snow belt, like up in Watertown, north of where I am, that region up there. Wow. Spider Boy says Usopp apologizing to the crew and Luffy and Zoro refusing to hear him until he apologized. One of the best One Piece moments. I agree, Spider Boy. I like that a lot. That was really cool. Yeah, that was really cool. Chrome says thing with bats is they're basically incubation centers for disease and viruses. Yeah, they can survive with multiple viruses that can interact and alter each other for a long time. Yeah, and it's like, take a bite. Who the fuck thinks that's a good idea at any point? I used to have a pet squirrel. Did you, Arthur? Yeah, why those little bastards gonna be mean? Because I grew up in the country. I used to I can remember one time when I was a kid. I was probably, I don't know, was I 13 maybe? 12, 13. Again, we lived in the country, and now in our basement, the basement was level at the back with the ground. and right outside the basement door was a little creek, and I used to capture chipmunks. I would set up a little trap and capture chipmunks, and then I'd let them go. You just because they were cute, they were fun to look at. So I'd capture them. I had a little cage for them. I'd feed them a little bit, but they'll die in captivity, so I'd eventually let them go. Well, it became like a game to me. I would do it after school and stuff. And there was this one red squirrel, and red squirrels can be miserable pricks anyway. And this one red squirrel kept coming in, and he would kill the chipmunks. He would come after the chipmunks. So one day I'm sitting there, and I had the trap set up, and it was a box trap. So I would put food in it. When the chipmunk went in, I'd come up behind the trap and just slap the front, close the front entrance, and then put him in the crate. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching my trap. I'm peeking out the door, and here comes that red squirrel to get him again. And I look around, there was a rock, and I always had when I played baseball, I even got scouted by a couple of teams and invited to camps because I had a really strong arm. I could always throw fast, throw hard. And this red squirrel is going from these little tree to little tree, coming after my chipmunks. I'm like, you freaking asshole! I took that rock, and it was a pretty long throw. I fired it as hard as I could at that red squirrel to get him the hell out of there. It was the ultimate headshot. It was absolute assassination. Just boom, like something from an anime. Down he went and died on impact. I don't know how interesting that story is, but when we got talking about squirrels. Dragon says, when cooked right, deer meat is the best. Venison's okay. Again, I still live in a rural area. We have a lot of hunters here, and a lot of people here really like the venison jerky. They dry it out and make jerky out of it. Exactly, Andrew. Who the fuck looks at a bat and says, yeah, I'm going to eat that? Peter says, I thought your grandson latest video looked like the Page Master. But you look like Ben Grimm. The Thing. Go to Hollywood. Ozzy ate bats. My grandson had a blast in the stream. Now my granddaughter wants to do it, and that'll be, if everything goes well, that'll be Friday. We'll do some more Resident Evil 2. She wants to be there for the scary game. Then you hate his bone marrow, Chrome says. Yes, I did kill it, Peter. They are red squirrels are varmints in every sense of the world. Every sense of the word. They're kind of douchebags. They're kind of scummy. That could be. Spider-Boy says, Red Squirrel hated you because you two were also ginger. Your lack of souls connected to you. Demon Slayer is next up at the Goosh, Indian Gamer Boy. We have, we're just about done with, with Assassination Classroom, and Demon Slayer's next. Chipmunks are sexy. I loved them when I was like I said, when I was a kid, Arthur. They were cute. So again, you couldn't keep them long because again they'll die in captivity. But I used to just put them in a little crate, and I'd give them food and stuff like that, and let them go. And then probably same ones I was capturing again the next time. Let's see. You can't teach arm strength. You can improve on what you have, but pure arm strength you either have or you don't. Yeah, that's true. That's true, and that's what they said at some of the camps that I got invited to. Mr. Piccolo was. Again, arm strength is just something you either have or you don't. Any sport that involves throwing, I always did well in. It just, everybody's got instincts for certain things, and that was mine. Like, even bowling. And not that I was a great bowler, but I was never a horrible bowler. Right from the time I picked it up, it's like, oh, okay, I get this. Anything that had to do with throwing, I was pretty good at. Excuse me. I once open palm slapped a bee to death. Clinton says. Dab and Dab says, as soon as you get to episode 19 in Demon Slayer, I'm going to do your goose. That good, huh? Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Demon Slayer, what is it? Demon Slayer, then Trigun we got set up, right, guys? Yeah. What game you plan on playing after Resident Evil 2, Andrew says. I haven't planned it yet. I'll wait till I get closer to the end of each of the games, and when I do, we'll talk about it in the streams. I'll probably get suggestions from you guys and pick something from within those suggestions. Big Green. Hey, Nico, let's go bowling. Yeah. Excuse me. As I said, Mihail, the the anime we watch are picked by our crew over at the Goose. If they pick a sports anime, I'll be happy to watch it, but we gotta wait and see what they decide on. Spider Boy says, "I feel sorry for your dick with that arm strength." Yeah, you have to tone it down a little bit. You have to click it to friendly mode. Yeah, that was my thing. I was again, and I love sports growing up, but I did have a strong arm. Fun fact: Hedon is still. I love Hedon. Well, you guys know that Hedon's my favorite Akatsuki member, and and it's hard to ever top. I can't control my body. He was just such a cool character because obviously he was funny in the way he conducted himself, even when he didn't mean to be funny. But his just I don't give a fuck attitude, and yeah, there's just something about him I just really like. Are you a fan of horror anime or scary anime in general? What I always say with that, Mike, is I'm a fan of anything if it's well done. Genre doesn't really matter to me. If it's a well-told story, and whether that's anime or a movie or whatever, if it's well told, I'm game. I just like good storytelling. So yeah, horror, shonen, slice life, whatever. I'm game for anything as long as it's well told. Willie Play says, I hope Psychopass gets voted in one day. Psychopass has done better and better. When we started having the selections and the nominations, I don't even remember it getting mentioned at all. But now I've noticed as we're going, it's not only getting mentioned, but it's getting some support. I mean, it hasn't come right near the top yet, but it's definitely moved up from when we started. It is a riveting crime show with the best villain in anime, severely underrated. Yeah, like I say, Willie, it wasn't even on the radar at first, and now while it's not like knocking at the door, it's definitely up on the radar now. For your next game, I suggest Far Cry 5, Gimster. Yeah, again, when we get closer to the end, I'll see what everybody's saying. What I'll probably do is just make a note of you guys' suggestions that seem to be the most popular, the most people jump on board with, and then I'll read up on them a little bit and just make a decision from there. Firewall Dragon says, I have great arm strength in my right arm. Draw your own conclusions. Well, what really specifically tells somebody where your strength might come from is if your forearm strength is really good. You're like, I can crush an apple. Well, there's a reason. Your forearm gets nice and strong. Chrome says, wonder what $100 vids there are this month. There's consistently quite a few now. Oh, there are. This potentially, it's not there yet. This month could potentially be the second time I might have to call the G100 class full because we've gotten so many. If you guys are interested, I can tell you what's coming up. Gusher 100. Hold on a second. I got to find let me find my list. I'll tell you what's coming up. Yes, it has been really good. And this is not even all of them because I have a couple that have been sponsored and the sponsor hasn't given me the titles yet what they want. So, okay. This month we have another episode of Genlock coming. We have another episode of Outlaw Star. We watched Castlevania's episode for this month. We watched Redemption of Bakugo this month. Another episode of Nichijou. Horizon Zero Dawn gameplay. The Death Note voice actors video. We're going to do some more of those. Kokoro Connect starts this month from Enzenator. Carolyn Tuesday starts this month from some guy named Chris, and he's got 2 of them lined up for this month. Morality of Gone Freaks we saw. A YouTube video, Naruto has the best fights, and Chrome has Uran High School. So that'll give you, and that's again not even a complete list. We got a couple more that people still have to give me their selections for this month. So yeah, it's gonna be a big month for G100 vids. Hold on a second, make sure I didn't miss anything. Hey, Curtis might answer this already, but do you plan on watching the new season of My Hero Academia? Yeah, Haunted Bagel. After it's out completely, I'll find a place for it. Because I love My Hero Academia. We've been watching at the Goosh. So it's just a matter of me finding a slot to put it in at the Goosh. But yes, I need to see it. We'll definitely have to find a place for it. Excuse me, guys. Moshi Moshi, Cesaro says. Somebody beat the sloth. Looks like somebody did. Chrome did. Curtis, oh, no problem, Honda Bagel. Curtis, ever seen Ghost in the Shell or Akira? They are beautiful mindfucks. Ghost in the Shell, I've heard a lot about. I'd like to see that Shard in Hand at some point, just because I've heard so much about it. Akira, I don't really haven't heard much on, but Ghost in the Shell, the gang talks about all the time. Glenn Akers says, being a dick sucks. Your next door neighbor is an asshole. The one downstairs are nuts. Your best friend is a pussy and your owner beats you till you puke. Yeah, I know there's already 14 episodes of My Hero Academia. And like I said, when it's done, we'll find a place for it at the Goosh. Let's see. Ghost in the Shell, Naked Lady Butts. I like that, Lex. Well, you know that. If there's naked lady butts, that's a major selling point. School Days when? I have no idea what you're talking about there, Michael. Ghost in the Shell is one of my favorite movies. Yeah, Willie, again, I've heard one of my favorite animes, Big Green says. I've heard nothing but good things about it. I wouldn't mind seeing that at some point. Chrome says also, Jesus, that's a lot of visits month. Yeah, I can see you need to put a limit to that. And I'll get through them. You know, I've gotten really good at juggling my time. So we'll definitely get to see them all. But yeah, I always leave myself a little bit of play as far as I'll cut them off without taking it right to the max of what I can fit in, because I'm always afraid of something going wrong, and I don't want anybody paying for a G100 video and then not getting it in that month. So getting it in. But yeah, we got a big month of G100 videos. Sauce says Curtis, show Bob's and Vagine. Oh, so the animation is really nice or whatever, but naked lady butts, Lick says. Assassination Classroom will be shortly, Stefan. I watched, it hasn't been posted yet, but I watched the second to the last episode today, so of course tomorrow I'll tie it up. Boy, that episode today, and it wasn't it wasn't hard to figure out, but I'd been saying from the start that no matter how that series ended up, it was going to be really tough on the fields. And yeah, that's exactly what happened. Curtis, if you can find it if you can find it, you might, the body shapes of the ladies on interspecies reviewers. If you can find it, you might, the body shapes of ladies. I'm not sure what you mean, Glenn. I'm not sure what that is. What did the fish say when he ran into the wall? Damn. Oh, fire dragon. Ba-doom-tsh. I love bad jokes. Love them. Gibster says, gonna get ready for my next 12-hour night at work and head to bed. Goosh, 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 goodbye. Well, thanks for being in while you could, Gimster. Make your way through the snow. Gimster, for those who don't know, was posting some pictures over at the Goosh. Any of you guys that are Gooshers want to see them, they're in the community tab, of what they've gotten for snow there, and it's like, yeah, I don't. We rarely got those amounts anyway, right where I am. You had to go further north in the state, but I don't miss those days at all. We haven't gotten much snow this year. We got a big storm in December. We got a couple feet here where I am. That snow was gone a few weeks later, and right now we don't even have. We have little patches on the ground, and that's it. I mean, we're into February, and we've had one big snowstorm. I'll freaking take it. With my luck, we'll get to March where you expect it's just about over, and we'll probably get some major blizzard or some shit. You can find, TKD says, the uncensored versions of interspecies reviewers on Pornhub. Can you? Interspecies reviewers. So that's what he was talking about. Oh, you might like the ladies from the anime interspecies reviewer. Gotcha. If you can find the uncensored versions on Pornhub, then yes, I would probably like that. You are correct. Funny story. Slough says, funny story about interspecies reviewed. Funimation picked it up to dub, but never knew that it was a borderline hentai and basically banished the dub to the Shadow Realm. Really? I didn't know that. That's kind of cool. Dao Yang says, I'd rather about watching animes rated M mature. I'm watching episodes from Kingdom Hearts, World Journey Act 5, Act 5th, New Kid Story Part 3, the Antares' Strike Back arc saga. Gimster says, P.S. Your amount of snow is adorable. Yeah, I'll admit to that now, Gimster. What we get for snow anymore is cute. We don't, nothing like when I was a kid. And even then, in fairness, even when I was a kid and we would get those monster storms, even back then, what you guys got up in Canada, we couldn't compete with that. Even back then, you guys kicked our ass. Funimation is kind of run by morons, Chrome says. Spider Boy says, in Texas, it fucking sucks. Always hot and humid. Please send help. Yeah, I used to live in New Mexico, Spider Boy, so I used to spend a lot of time over in Texas, looking for something to do. Does everybody have 2 more years to catch up to One Piece? No, why would that bother me? So I'm, to me, when you're enjoying a ride as much as I'm enjoying watching One Piece, it's not something that would bother me. It's a plus that there's that much content yet to be absorbed from there. Let's see. Sinclair says Funimation accidentally picked it up just like 4Kids did with One Piece back in the day. Better they just dropped it than censored it or something. yeah, that's a real oops. Yeah, we'll dub this series for you. Wait, it's what's in it? Interspecies Reviewers is a series where Link from Zelda goes to brothels and raids the girls. That's pretty funny. I like that concept. Funimation is definitely run by morons, Sal says. They sold a $500 bust of Speed Racer's head? Really? That's funny. It's over 2 years to catch up to One Piece. 2 full years of an episode nearly every day. That's a long time. And even then, the series finale will only be nearing the horizon, which is insane. Oh, it's such a great... And I'm so into it right now, too, with just having come out of that Enies Lobby arc. Oh, man. In Russia, Dodge says, in Russia, you'd be beaten half dead by otakus for calling anime cartoons. They're having some system administrators or local internet providers. Oh, I'm sure, Dodge. That's why I put that in the title, because I know it tweaks some people so extremely. Oh, okay. Glenn says, I'll send you some cover art on Twitter. You'll see why it got canceled. That's a pretty funny concept, actually, though. I like that. Oh, One Piece is absolutely amazing, Mikey. Oh, so freaking good. Again, this arc we just came through was fucking fantastic. And the way they're setting things up now, this whole thing with Ace, the way they're setting things up going forward. And that, his fire against the darkness. My big concern is, that's the episode I just watched today. I didn't like how, as they're talking about, okay, let's see where this goes next, that they're just showing Ace's detached hat on the ground. If something happened to Ace, I'm not going to be happy. Damn Chinese propaganda, Cartoons Lick says. So what the fuck, Curtis? You watch cartoons already 5? I've been watching cartoons since before I was 5. Never stopped. Cartoons have always been I love cartoons since forever. Just send it, enjoy it, not too much. Hold on, let me see. I'll take a quick peek at those. Come on, at the cover art. See, I don't have it yet. Oh, there it is. Okay. Interspecies Reviewers. God damn. That little sprite looking thing there in the middle. Yep. That a couple of those girls have rather robust chesticles. Not too shabby at all. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Giggity giggity. Enemy says. Samantha says, hey Curtis, funny thing, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged little Kuribo has a Ebonics version, and it's funny as hell, and Funimation has a lot of new animation that got homo references now. The walking definition of jiggly. Pretty much, Glenn. Yeah, that the artwork makes it seem like something I would definitely enjoy. The One Piece manga is absolutely nuts right now, Spider Boy says. I mean, the backstory we're getting is the stuff of absolute legendary status. See, that just gets me amped up for what's yet to come. And a battle of the better sailor who'd win in a fight, Popeye or Luffy. As much as I'm an old fart, and from the era of Popeye's heyday, yeah, Luffy kicks the shit out of out of that one-eyed fuck. Luke says, the fuck is with those sacks on their chest? Do all girls have those? Let's see. I killed them. Where should I hide the bodies? Willie says. Yeah, Boku no Pico. Yeah, that's high on the list. That's coming right up. You should react to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge the Ebonics episode. That's somebody else was just talking about that. Who's better, Natsu or Luffy? Again, I don't get. Well, Luffy's one of my all-timers anyway, though. Naruto or One Piece? I say Bleach is the best. I finally learned English thanks to it, by the way. Oh, that's kind of cool. Again, Naruto, I'm not big on comparisons. Anyway, I love Naruto, and I love watching One Piece. To me, there doesn't have to be a better, an either or. Oh, hi, Morgan. I'm working, but she wanted to stop and say hi for a couple minutes. Well, thanks for popping in while you could. Most cartoon animated series in blood and gore, their cussing and swearing is mature comedy, funny violence and gore, thrilling horror, sci-fi, fantasy, drug, and alcohol. Huh. All mention things that are interesting topics of of my entertainment as far as I'm concerned. Chrome says, don't tempt me, Curtis. I could eventually sponsor Boku no Pico, that or Ippo. Either way, it's two men grunting covered in sweat. Yeah. Yes, Berserk was great. The enemy. We watched that over at the Goosh as well. Berserk was really good. God damn, that was some great storytelling too. Berserk does disturbing extremely well. And I know there's a lot of anime, a lot of forms of animation that have intentionally disturbing elements to them. But goddamn, when Berserk wants to get disturbing, they know how to dive down that rabbit hole. Really well done. Morgan says, have you ever heard of the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya? A great sci-fi comedy anime. No, I never heard of that one, Morgan. That I'm sure of. I've never heard that name before. It still to this day amazes me how much anime is actually out there. It's crazy. If I ever become rich, I'll sponsor the entirety of the original Dragon Ball series of the Goose. Spider Boy says, I want to watch the original. You guys know I've seen so many clips of it. I'm really dying to watch the OG Dragon Ball in its entirety, episode after episode. I just don't know where the hell I'm going to be able to fit it in. Yeah, fit it in. JoJo, yeah, we're caught right up on JoJo Lunarina. We just, not too long ago, a few months ago, we finished catching up to that. 2-3 months ago over at the Goosh. Yeah, JoJo lived up to the hype. It was absolutely great. Devilman inspired Berserk. It's crazy, old, and good. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was the inspiration for it. Yeah, Berserk was fantastic. Hopefully Bleach comes back. Oh, we're gonna fit it in. Big Green says, yeah, we'll be starting Bleach very shortly. I'm kind of anxious. Morgan says, maybe Haruhi something to consider for a future G100 after I satisfy my Death Note obsession. Death Note obsession is not a bad obsession to have, Morgan. That's I mean, come on. The whole Death Note concept is just brilliant. And the execution couldn't have been better as far as I'm concerned. Wow, it's, I don't want to say simple, but it's the kind of concept of the whole Death Note. You look at it and you go, oh yeah, I could have come up with that, because it's something that makes sense as a story to tell, but at the same time, it's so brilliantly original as well. It's just, oh man, I just enjoyed that one so. And again, we talk about anime and the scenes, arcs, whatever the case may be, that we know are going to stay with us forever, like we were talking about Meruem Komugi and of course Shao Tucker. Same thing in Death Note when he mocks what's his face's girlfriend there when he's sent her off to kill herself, and the way they visually interpret it too, with her walking up those golden stairs or those illuminated stairs, was just, it's just one of those things that embeds itself on your brain. That was, god damn, that was fucking insane. And just that's when, to me, Light lost any sympathy or anything or any empathy, is when he mocked that poor girl simply because he had basically bested her in a battle of wits. And he just, now it was like, you're not, this is no longer about making the world a better place anymore for you. It's just about, you are God and you'll do what you want to do. Oof. Man, that was good. Well, thanks, Benjamin. I appreciate that. Ray Pember. Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, Ray Pember's girlfriend. When he sends her off. God damn, that was... Yeah, Forgotten Light says, I lost it all long before that. He was definitely, well, as you guys saw, I saw the reaction. I was distancing myself from him more and more before that, because you could see where he was going wild with it. But that whole mocking her was just, that was too much. That just, the house of cards fell over for me at that point. Yep, Light went crazy with that power. He did. And I mean, that's, to me, that's where you really saw it. Because now it's like, wow, you can't really get anybody any more innocent than this poor girl in the whole thing. And you're not only, you can't even, you're sending her off to her death because you feel like you have to continue to achieve what you want to achieve. But in no way, shape, or form does that mean you need to mock her and show your enjoyment of your power the way that he did there. Excuse me. Morgan says, that's the moment many people started rooting for L. Yeah, understandable, yeah. Don't worry, I got you with plenty of Death Note content. Again, yeah, it never disappoints me, more Death Note content. I just want to shove a stick up my ass, Sloth says. Ow. I mean, everybody's got to have hobbies and everything, but... go make some coffee, Forgotten Light, by all means, absolutely. No, I haven't seen Black Clover yet, Steven. Talked about it a lot. We've talked about it, but I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, I saw that there was that new Death Note one-shot. It was all over Twitter yesterday. We may also get a Death Note OVA. Chrome says now there's a Death Note manga, one-shot chapter they just released. It was pretty good. Ending was kind of cheap, but still interesting. I see that the leaders of the world are all vying for the Death Note. That's a neat concept. I think that's funny. Excuse me. Enemy says, I still felt sad for Light at the end. You know what, Enemy, that's one of those cases where the way the storytelling went, I could see that. I could see somebody feeling bad for him, but I didn't. It's like, okay, but again, it's not to say like anybody that did, it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I get that. The way the story was told, I get how somebody could, but he had just, again, things like what he did to Ray Pember's girlfriend, that's just unforgivable to me. So when he went, I was like, yeah, fuck you, dude. But I get that. I get where somebody could still actually have at least some sort of empathy towards him. Trump bidding for the Death Note. Yeah, I saw that, Izanagi. Again, I didn't read it. I just saw people were posting pictures of the panels and everything on Twitter. Morgan says, I cried when Light died, but I was mourning the loss of Light Yagami and his potential, not Light as Kira. If that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. That absolutely makes sense. I wanted Light to win. Is something wrong with me? No, Spider Boy, because while we're watching, I know there were a lot of people that were still rooting for Light. I mean, and I think, and it's not just without any reason. At the core, supposedly, he was still trying to create this ultra decent society. Now, he went off the rails a bunch in that quest, and he certainly got drunk with godly power in that quest, but that, so to some people, it's like, well, whatever he did was worth it to get rid of the element of society that just wants to hurt others anyway. Michael, this might be one of my favorite questions we've ever gotten. Why has the channel mainly become you? I don't know, Michael. I don't know. The channel's actual URL is youtube.com/thespazgamer, which is of course me. But why I never I don't know who else. I know what he want. I know what Michael's after. Come here. We all know who the channel should really be all about. That's what it is. It's Afro Mike or nothing. Why is this channel has always been you? That I gotta admit that was different. That was one of my favorite comments we've gotten. No, Spaz Clock. Oh, Licks. Yeah, Spaz Clock has had a longer history here, but of course that the Spaz Clock is of course Mitsuku, the chatbot, and she's got a lot going on right now. She wins the Lebner Prize every year and everything. Mr. Miles says it's not just you; it's all the voices in your head as well. That's true. Maybe there's one of the personalities that was more dominant than the others. That's funny. Better than Smite, Jack Queen says. Bring the train on as a guest for a reaction video. Fuck that train. I don't care. The train's take on anything. R.I.P. Spaz Cherry. Yep, he finally shit the bed. and he got me one last time because when Spaz Chair fell apart, it literally just fell apart. I was just sitting in the chair and it just like boom. Everything fell to pieces, and he was like, "There's one last fuck you for you, pal." Oh, Chrome says, "Well, technically everything but you is in your intro too, including Golden and the Clock. Soup from Masamuzume and Tanya's Jewel is in it, but not you." That's a good point, Chrome. Forgotten Light says, "Fuck the fucking train." You know what? Now I had, while I was recording this morning, the train came by a few times, but I had mentioned this in a stream before, and I don't want to jinx it, but the trains, and we've lived in this house for 25 years now. The trains, for whatever reason, have ebbed, and I mean, possibly the slowest as far as number of them per day I've seen since we've lived here. We still get a lot. We still get them regularly. But as you guys have seen between live streams and my recordings and stuff, it's not unusual for us to get 5, 6, 7 of them in an hour. And there hasn't been much of any of that lately. I don't know if maybe the industry is down a little bit. Maybe they've changed some of the runs that the trains are on. But yeah, I'm completely jinxing it, Big Green. 100%. Now we'll get killed with them. But it's been noticeable. I think, what have we had since we've been sitting here, guys? That have been with us from the start. I remember the train coming by once. Has it been just once? Or twice? In an hour and 22 minutes? That used to be unheard of. I mean, even during the night, if I can't sleep and I get up to work on stuff for the channel or the Goosh and it's 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, they're still buzzing back and forth there. Let's see. If the train hasn't come as often on your streams, that means shit's about to get real. WW3. You might be right. It's Acres. Oh, well, we had a good run. They've been watching your live streams. Yes, they got so tired of getting ragged on in the live streams that they just said, "Fuck it, we won't go by there." Chrome says, "If you ever wanted, I'm technically trained in how to edit real people into CGI environments, Curtis. So you could be edited into the intro, punching Golden and burning Spaz Chair." That'd be actually kind of funny. Golden, that sick fuck. Golden may be coming around again at some point. I remember during the Naruto reactions, at least once a video was "fuck you train." Yeah, Morgan, that's back again. And I'm not exaggerating. I know it would seem like it, but no, 5, 6, 7 times an hour is not an exaggeration. We've had plenty of times where we'll get that many trains between the Amtraks and the freight trains. Oh, jeez. But this whole winter, they've really, really slowed up. And again, not weather related. We haven't had a bad winter at all. One big snowstorm. That's been it. Samantha, dear Curtis, you're amazing. I love watching your videos. They make me laugh and make my day every time I watch them. Also wish I could meet you one day, so make my day. Well, thank you, Samantha. That's very nice of you to say. I wish we could. I've said many times, I wish we really could get a meetup set, but it's just so hard because, again, obviously, we don't have, we don't have a monstrous by YouTube standards fan base, and there is just such a select number of us, and we're all over the world. No matter where I set up a meetup, I don't think it would be too convenient for any large number of people. That's the only downside to encompassing the whole world like YouTube does. I'd say one of your best reactions from me was when you saw Donzo kill the toad. That fucking Donzo. That was some slimy shit right there. Yeah, Donzo was a fuck. I feel like Light is more likely to bring peace than L or Nearwood. You think so, Niall? Could be. I mean, you can make a case for that. Could be. But man, like I say, Light really liked playing the God role a little too much. Morgan, I'd travel for a meetup 100%. I would love to do one someday, Morgan. I would think that would, oh God, that would be an absolute blast to get to meet a bunch of you guys in real life. And we could live stream right from wherever we met up. That'd be a lot of fun. Excuse me. Andrew says peace through fear isn't really peace, though. True. It's always peace through fear. You're always going to have the bubbling underbelly of potential conflict. Sure. My favorite character in One Piece, Lamis, is Luffy. I believe that is the only anime where my favorite character has been the main character. I love Luffy. Although my boy Chopper's not too far behind him. I love Chopper as well, but Luffy is just perfectly in my wheelhouse of all the things I like about a character. The simple nature, the badass abilities to fight, just his whole demeanor. Oh, train's gonna hit the queue. There it is. There's another one. Light's piece would be from fear. Crime rates were already down because L simply existing made people think twice about committing crime. He wasn't killing people. Well, that's right. That's what I was referring to. Light's piece would be from fear because they'd be afraid of getting on the list. I agree, Morgan. Yeah, there's the train. There we go. My favorite character in One Piece is Nami's boobs. Oh, I don't know. They'd be Jack Queen, but Nami's boobs have to be a co-favorite with Nico Robbins too. Oh, Nico Robbins or Maya. Fuck that train, indeed, Morgan. My favorite villain in Dragon Ball universe was Perfect Cell. I really like Frieza. I think he's a great villain. There's a lot of great villains in Dragon Ball, but the wise ass nature of Perfect Cell, I really like him. It's like Beetlejuice. Say train enough, one will appear. Yeah, kind of, Glenn. Train. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to have to pack up the stream. I still got some editing to do. Got a bunch of stuff to put together for the Goose and for the channel. Guys, thank you for hanging out here with me on the stream. If you get a chance, any of you who haven't watched, stop by those Old Man Dramatic Reading videos and let me know what you think of them because I really enjoy doing those. And so I'm trying to build up an audience for them of people that are actually interested in them. So if you haven't seen them, just so you're aware, they're not actual legitimate dramatic readings, as is nothing is legitimate with me. It's all for laughs. So if you get a chance, watch them for me. But until then, we'll be back with the stream tomorrow. Should be GTA 5 tomorrow, I think we'll be doing. Yeah, probably GTA 5. And I will see you guys around the channel. See you guys over at the Goose. And as always, pumfu, sticky stuff. You milk it. You get the sticky stuff everywhere because we'll bang, okay? Flashily like Buggy. And as always, and most importantly, goosh.